Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Psycho, and I've got an extremely interesting Walking Dead video for you all today, and this one is going to be over the topic of, did Jeffrey Dean Morgan reveal who wasn't killed by Negan on a certain Comic-Con panel? Recently, a video from IMDb News came out, and it was called IMDb Comic-Con 2016 Interview, The Walking Dead, Find Out Who Negan Didn't Kill. Nonetheless, this is a very interesting interview in itself. However, there are some specific questions and answers that were shown in this interview that really struck me as interesting. I will make sure to link this down in the comment section and description below just so you guys can go and watch it for yourself, because there are a lot of interesting questions and answers in this. However, the most interesting question and answer, in my opinion, was when the host of the interview asked Jeffrey Dean Morgan if the panel is unkillable, basically asking Jeffrey if his character Negan killed any of them sitting beside him right now. As Jeffrey Dean Morgan realizes it's a question for him, Andrew Lincoln says, "Who did you kill?" Jeffrey Dean Morgan then replies with, "No one sitting here." They all start laughing and everyone's like, "You heard it here first." And I just thought this was extremely interesting because we've had instances like this in the past with recent Comic-Cons last year and years before that. What I mean by this is, I believe it was last year's Comic-Con, there was an interview I think with Greg Nicotero, Steven Yeun, and Norman Reedus, and I think one of the interviewers asked them what was the most shocking death of the upcoming season known as Season 6. Norman Reedus then replies with saying, Glenn's death. Everyone seemed shocked and Greg Nicotero tried to brush it off because it seemed like he knew that Norman Reedus had leaked something that wasn't supposed to be leaked yet. Now, as time went on, we saw that this experience actually kind of happened with the Glenn situation and the dumpster. So that lie right there was actually partially true because the goal of that was to make people think that a death was coming with Glenn. So it seemed like people started to believe it a little bit more since it seemed like Norman Reedus accidentally leaked it a long time ago. Of course it ended up being a lie, but it seems kind of similar to this situation. It makes me wonder why he would say, "none of us here," because I feel like that reveals a lot, whether joking or not. You can come up with some ideas and perspectives on this statement. However, all of that depends on if you believe what he says or if you don't believe what he says. There's a huge part of me that thinks he's saying all of this just for a joke. However, I feel like the only person that could be killable out of that group right there would be Glenn, played by Steven Yeun. I feel like Andrew Lincoln is definitely unkillable. He should be there until the end, in my opinion. Norman Reedus isn't even looking like he's going to be killed, just because I feel like he's kind of the money bringer for AMC, and it would be a bad move for them to kill him off just because he has so many fans. That's if you're looking at it from a money standpoint, though. The only thing that makes this seem like a joke is, though, that Glenn's character is really important for this kill and Negan's story. I personally think that's who it should be, no matter if it seems likely or not. I believe this is something that should be kept true to the comics, just because it makes so much sense for the character's story, and Rick's story, and Negan's story. The only other secondary person I could see actually getting killed by Negan, and having some sort of impact and making sense as well, would be Abraham. The rest of them it just seems a little iffy on, because I feel like it just doesn't make that much sense for anyone else to die, just because a lot of them don't have impact, and that's one of the major goals of this death, is to have impact on the group, and really show us that Negan and the Saviors are a force to be reckoned with. Of course Michonne would have some impact, but I don't know if it really makes sense for her story yet. Either way, Jeffrey Dean Morgan could be joking, it could be meant to be played off as a joke but actually true, so we have our options here, but I feel like this is partially a joke. After all of these trailers, basically not even showing who wasn't killed, I think that this partially has to be a joke just because AMC is behind all of this and you know they've told all of the actors what to say and what they shouldn't say, so I feel like they're very controlling when it comes to this stuff. It could be a misleading tactic, it could be simply a joke, or it could be pointing at the truth. I'll just leave that up to you guys to decide, but I figured it was something interesting that I would mention in a video, and I'll make sure to link it down in the description below. Thank you guys once again for watching. I really do appreciate it. It seriously means a lot to me. Also, if you do want to leave a like on the video, that helps out an absolute ton as well. Thank you guys again. Peace out.